Thank you, boys. Last year's racing for clean emission motorcycles made its global debut at the TT races under the guise of TT XGP. This year, the clean emissions class has been brought into the core TT race programme, and teams from around the world are expected to contest the event, generating global media coverage outside of the specialist motorcycle press. Team Agni made history by taking victory in that inaugural race and come back to the Isle of Man in 2010, looking to further establish their credentials in clean tech motorsport by sporting two riders. Let's remind ourselves of that historic achievement last year.
Thomas Schoenfelder was sneaking around at an average speed of 77.8 miles an hour on his Team XXL machine. He moved up into second place, but Barber's Team Agni bike was too good for them all, with a 90-second lead on the German. With a lap time of 25 minutes and 53 seconds, he took victory in the inaugural TTX GP.
Well done, Rob. Lights. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the stage Rob Barber and the principal of Team Agni, Arvind Rabida, along with team principal of the Isle of Man's own entry, Man TTX David Crane, and their team manager, Keith Mackay.
Let's start with you, Rob, and bit of history last year, 87 just over, and a win, but as you said to me in an interview, it wasn't a TT win, there's a TT win on offer this year.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big TT fan. Been coming since I was 6 years old, and I want a TT win more than anything. But still, it's special. It was still the first ever win. I'm still proud of what I achieved, but TT win would be even special, even better, you know.
You've taken to this like a duck to water, haven't you? You've really enjoyed it, and you've got a teammate as well.
Yeah. Jenny Timothy's going to be my teammate this year. Known Jenny since about 2003. Get on great with her, and she's a fantastic rider. Her lap times have proven that at the short circuits, and last year she proved that at the TT. So I think she'll be definitely a good contender, and she'll definitely be pushing me.
Let's have a word with the team boss, and you've had a year, obviously, since last year when it was probably a less of a lead-in time. You've had a whole year this time. What improvements have you made to the bike? What can you gauge it towards that 100-mile-an-hour lap and the £10,000 that I think's on offer for the first one to do it?
Well, we can try. We've got two new bikes this year. Last year's one is going to stay as it is, and we're working with new motors that we're producing. Our engineer Cedric Lynch, he's in India, working on the big motors. We should have a lot more power. We might do a little bit of aerodynamics. It's not much allowed, but whatever is allowed, we can try and capitalize on that. That is the main thing, and also we're changing a few other bits and pieces within it, which last year we thought we had a good setup. Well, we did have a good setup, but we could have gone a lot more faster. But we didn't have much time last year. 6 weeks we built that bike in. And I think we're on that verge of repeating it. But I think, you know, we're doing quite well of doing short time production. And because of Cedric's knowledge, it's unbelievable. So I think I can get away with him producing something good. And I think Rob would like something, and so will Jenny.
Well, let's have a word with your competitors, or one of your competitors here, and we'll have a word this side first. And a Manx effort, I know there was a test going on at Derby the other weekend.
Yes, we thought we'd dig out the old bike from last year, and we took it up to Derby. Got James McBride over to ride it for us, and he was going through the corners as fast as anybody, so we're confident that we're going to do well this year.
And what sort of bike have you gone for?
Ours is based on a Ducati frame, but we've got the Agni motors as well. And with a bit of luck, if Arvind develops these new motors, he might let us have some as well, so that there's no unfair advantage. We'll be out there amongst it. Yeah, we really will.
Wish you well. Let's have a word with Keith. Mate. I'll take the mic over. And Keith, what's it like managing a team?
I wouldn't
in a different environment, isn't it?
Oh, it very much is. I wouldn't really put myself down as team manager. One of the local paper journalists asked me what I was doing, and I said I make the tea. We all pitch in and do what we can. I mean, obviously my background is petrol bikes. You know, I've been racing them for a long time, and my learning curve for the electric stuff has been absolutely enormous. But we've got a couple of guys that are extremely knowledgeable about that have designed the electric side of things and helped us out. I think for this year, the teams that were there last year, as the guys have said, we had so little time for development. Everybody was struggling. But as everybody have seen, I mean, we had a little problem last year that stopped us in the race, but our times were fantastic, the speed was great. We've been working on the bike, we've been making improvements, and this year we'll be racing to win.
Well, there we are, the gauntlet's been thrown down. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a success last year. It's now part of the TT programme. Let's give a round of applause for our competitors and team in the background for TT0.